Morgue. I'm Jamie Sanmore. I want to jump right in this week and talk about the Scream 2 season finale that just aired on MTV. I just got done watching it, and wow, like, fuck me, wow. What an amazing, shocking ending. I did not see that coming for sure. And my guess as to who the killer was totally wrong, and I'm okay with admitting that. That show has amazing writers and directors behind it, and I really, really, really hope that there's a season 3. They just revealed that there's going to be a Scream Halloween special, which I'm super fucking excited for. I'm very excited about everything coming up in horror. You know, they're talking about a Friday the 13th, which is hopefully going to come out in, I guess, 2017. I just read on BloodyDisgusting.com earlier today that Kevin Bacon is interested in playing Freddy Krueger in the long-mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. I think that would be fucking awesome, like completely awesome. So that's what I'm thinking about the Scream season finale and all the stuff that's coming up in horror in the next year. I really, really hope that they do a season 3 of Scream because I think it would be friggin' awesome. I love the ending, which ties into a lot of the stuff that happened throughout the season. I'm not going to give away spoilers because it just ended. I want to make sure my listeners have a chance to actually watch the show before I comment on it. I will probably do more Scream TV series stuff on next week's show. Next up, I want to jump into a Sins of Man update. Things are moving along behind the scenes with post-production of Sins of Man 2 Vengeance. Tribulation, I just finished writing the script. I'm going to edit it and make sure after the edit I like the way it works in terms of the story and the structure and all of that stuff. And a funny thing happened when I was finishing the script. I wrote the last note out in script form, and the script and the movie, it just ends with a fade to black. And the reason I think this is funny is because at the end of Rise of Mortis, I had to leave a hint that the story wasn't over. Same thing with Vengeance. I had to write an ending where people who aren't aware that it was a trilogy from the get-go, I needed to leave something to let you guys know that there was going to be a part 3. And it was weird, and it took me a few minutes to realize after I wrote that last line that there was no need to do a mid-credit scene or a hook to tell you that there was going to be another movie, because there isn't. Sins of Man 3 Tribulation is the end of the trilogy. Now, as I've said, I pretty much think I've said this every week here on the Maine Morgue. I have no intentions of doing a Sins of Man 4 unless it's the beginning of a new trilogy. I was asked last week if it would be weird for me come next year to go into production and not be calling the shots as the director of Tribulation. And I haven't really touched on this subject mainly because I didn't think I had to, but apparently many fans want to know how I feel about it, so I'm going to just go ahead and give you guys a little comment. I think that I have enough time between the end of production of Vengeance and the start of production on Tribulations where I'll be adjusted to not being the director. And I talked about this with Chris during the production of Vengeance, and I asked him if he would be interested in directing Tribulation with without any help, if he would be willing to just direct it himself. I'll write it and do all that stuff, but I wanted him to be the director because he has a great vision. He can take what I write in the script and make it happen on the screen, and he knows exactly what I want. And it's not like writing the script is the only thing I have to do. I do the makeup effects. I act in the movies. I make the blood. I'm the prop master. I'm going to work as the script supervisor more than likely. And I will be a location scout, like I was the last 2 years. I'll be booking the shoots and the locations and I'll have a hand in casting, so it's not like I'm just writing. I don't want fans to think that I'm totally washing my hands of the process other than writing the script. I actually love writing horror and horror scripts and outlines and things like that. And I know I've said in the past that I hate outlines, but over the last couple weeks, I've come to realize how important an outline is, because I wrote Tribulation in 10 days. From the end of the time I wrote the outline to the end of writing the script, it took me 10 days to write that script. And that, to me, is just fucking amazing. And, you know, I'm going to just jump back for a minute and talk about the Scream 2 season finale. And, the Scream season finale, season 2. And say that it's things like that that make me fall in love with writing horror all over again. To think that somebody came up with that and gave us that swerve, that kick in the nuts at the very end of the show, it blew my fucking mind. And those are the things that I'm like, oh my god, I want to write something like this. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with another segment. You're listening to the Maine Morgue. Hey everybody, this is the Maine Morgue. My name is Jamie Santamore. And what I'm here to talk about during this little commercial break is the Maine Morgue needs your help to get better. In order to do this, we have started a GoFundMe page. The address is gofundme.com/The Maine Morgue. We are looking to raise $300 to get better equipment to do the podcast with, and hopefully get some green screen equipment and be able to do different things with the show and make it a video podcast as well as the audio. I would love to do one segment a week with video. To make that happen, I need your help. So please donate to the Maine Morgue. GoFundMe.com/The Maine Morgue. And thank you so much for your continued support with the Maine Morgue. Welcome back. Right now, I want to take this opportunity to talk about what's next for Wicked Carnival Productions. I mean, we just finished our second film. We're going to start production on the final film in the trilogy in spring. I launched this podcast, about a month and a half ago, which is something I'd been thinking about for about a year. I actually started thinking about it when we were getting ready to release, actually before we released Rise of Mortis. After we got done production, I thought of ways I could stay active. And the podcast was one idea I had. And one day I just decided, you know what? To hell with it. Plug the headset into the iPod and just hit record and start talking. And here we are 6 weeks later. So, you know, as far as our next film project, I really think that it's wide open. After the trilogy is completed in 2017, 2018, I have a web series that I could do that's going to lead into a feature film. I have another slasher movie, which is a very specific theme that I think will really resonate with horror fans. And of course, the one that everybody talks about, the one that everybody asks me about because they want to know as much as they possibly can, is the sci-fi film that I have in very early development. I'm not going to release any details because that's down the road in 2020 is the slated, quote-unquote, slated release date for that. And in a lot of ways, I think it's funny, but I want to get away from horror at some point and make films that might surprise fans. I've got a superhero movie that I'm working on. It's in very, very, very early development. And I think it'll make fans happy. And I want to tell you guys right now that I love comic book movies. I love superhero movies. And I usually learn something from each one. I will not make a superhero movie if I don't think fans will enjoy it. I'm not going to damage the superhero genre. And I mean, it's all subject to what you like and what you don't like. The story's going to have to be good. My hero's going to have to be good. My villain's going to have to be good. More on that in the coming weeks as I develop the story and the characters and all of that. You know, and I say it every week, I love doing this podcast. It's a great platform for me to talk to you guys about Wicked Carnival Productions, what we're up to, where we want to go, as well as talk to you guys about movies and other interesting topics. And there was a commercial before the segment for the GoFundMe page. What I'm trying to do is get myself a little kit that I actually found. I believe it was on Amazon. It's a podcasting kit that comes with its own little audio condenser and headset and microphone and all the stuff you need to do a podcast. I like the setup I have, but rendering it is, honestly, it's a pain in the fucking ass. It takes 2 or 3 hours to render it to MP4 format, and then it takes anywhere from a half hour to an hour and a half to upload it to YouTube. So it's really more trouble than I would like it to be, and supposedly if I get this program, the uploads are a lot easier because I record right into the program. So maybe it's easier that way, I don't know. But anyways, the GoFundMe is gofundme.com/the Maine Morgue. I would appreciate any donations you guys can send in. I will use this money to further the podcast because this is something I truly enjoy doing, and I will continue to do this long after I stop making films, which I don't ever plan on stopping to do that anytime soon. Thank you once again for everybody that even looks at the GoFundMe. We're trying to raise $300 to make this show better for you, the fans. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I'm going to talk about the Sci-Fi Channel and the movies they produce. You're listening to the Maine Morgue. This is just a friendly reminder. You can pick up Wicked Carnival Productions' first feature film, Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis, at bullmoose.com and at Bull Moose locations throughout the state of Maine. Once again, that's Sins of Man, Rise of Mortis, available at bullmoose.com. And now, back to the Maine Morgue. Welcome back. I have to say that I'm a huge, huge fan of the cheesy movies that they play on the Sci-Fi Channel. My wife and I watch Sharknado every year. We watch them all, 1, 2, 3, and the latest one, Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens, was funny as hell. I also love Lava Ranchula and its sequel that just aired a couple weeks ago, To Lava, To Ranchula, which it stars Steve Guttenberg from 3 Men and a Baby fame, also the Police Academy movies. I often thinking about making a movie like that, with the over-the-top plot and the out there antagonist, the monster, whatever it happens to be, whether it's a Sharknado or a Dino Shark or a lava-shooting tarantula, and the equally over-the-top cast of characters. I think it would be fun to make a movie like that. And what made me start thinking about it was a movie I got from Netflix. It was a Sci-Fi Channel movie called Dino Shark. I watched it on DVD night before last, I think. I thought the movie was cool. The setup was interesting. The execution I thought was spot on. It was campy. Yeah, because all these sci-fi movies are campy. And they're ridiculous. They're over the top. But most of it, not all of it, was enjoyable for me to watch. I was wondering what you guys think of these types of movies. If you like them, if you don't like them. Tell me why either way in the comments below, or if you're more comfortable doing it privately, you can email me, themainmorgue@gmail.com. I'm actually thinking about writing a monster movie in the spirit of the Sci-Fi Channel movies. Something that's a little serious, but also can poke fun at itself. And I think Sharknado and Lava Ranchula are perfect examples, and they work because people tune in to watch these by the millions. So, it's just something I'm thinking about. Let me know what you guys think of the idea in the comments or privately in my own email. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back, and you're listening to the Maine Morgue. Check out the official website for Wicked Carnival Productions at wickedcarnivalproductions.com. There you will be able to read our blogs, watch our videos, movie reviews, catch up on all things Wicked Carnival Productions, all things Sins of Man. We would greatly appreciate your support, and please check out wickedcarnivalproductions.com. Now back to the Maine Morgue. Welcome back. Recently I've been very outspoken about critics and films that are widely thought to be bad that I think are mainly good. And Man of Steel and Batman v Superman are what prompted many people to reach out and ask me how I determine whether I will watch a movie or not. I don't read online reviews. I've never even been to RottenTomatoes.com. I mean, I've been to IMDb before, but that's because I have a movie on there, and I use it as my go-to site to learn about movies with the trivia, quotes, and goofs and things like that. I didn't even know they had a movie rating scale until my wife pointed it out to me the other day. I always wondered what it was, a 6.5 out of 10. Is that how many people have seen it on the website? And my wife goes, no, that's the rating system. I'm like, oh, okay. And the first thing I look at when I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to see a movie or not is the title. I look who's into it in the movie, because that's often a big factor. For me, anyways. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Emma Stone. I am a huge fan of Emma Roberts. I'm a huge fan of Scout Compton. She does a lot of indie stuff, not really big studio stuff. I love Channing Tatum. I'll see pretty much anything he's in, including Magic Mike, which I thought was a brilliant fucking movie. Excuse me, both of them. Excuse me for a second, I gotta take a drink. But yeah, that's the first thing I look at is the title of the movie and who's gonna be in it. When Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, I was like, that doesn't overly excite me to run out and see Batman v Superman. But I got over that really quick when I saw the picture of him online standing in front of the Batmobile, or next to the Batmobile, wearing the Batsuit. I was like, wow, he looks really good. I was like, yep, seeing that movie. Now, keep in mind, I am not, repeat, not a big movie theater guy. I watch movies from home and rarely venture to my local theater, unless I know I can't wait for the Blu-ray DVD release. The last time that happened was 2014 and the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had to go out and see that opening weekend. And I was very happy with the movie because I'm a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have been since I was a little kid. And I don't listen to critics, or hell, even my friends and family. If they say Batman vs Superman sucked, don't waste your money. My wife bought it for me on digital, and I watched it. And as I said last week on the show, I loved that movie. Suicide Squad has been getting slammed by the critics and fans alike the last 2 weekends. That hasn't changed my opinion. I cannot wait for that film to come out on Blu-ray DVD so I can see it. The movie I'm looking forward to the most on DVD, Blu-ray next is Captain America Civil War, because it looked amazing according to the trailers, and I think it'll be good. I'm a huge Cap fan. I love the fact that they brought in Black Panther. I think that's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see his solo movie. You have to realize, critics that work for major newspapers, websites, news outlets, they're paid for their opinion of a film. Joe Blow Nobody, who becomes a keyboard warrior on a message board or in the comment section here on YouTube, your opinion doesn't hold much weight with people like me. If that upsets you or offends you in any way, please allow me to quote the Cowboy James Storm and say, sorry about your damn luck. You're listening to the Maine Morgue. I'll be back with segment 5 this week. But first, a word about Greenwich's photography. Welcome back to the Maine Morgue. I am your host, Jamie Santamore. Segment 2 this week is going to be centered around the announcement I made last week on cinsamanmovie.com and on YouTube. The video basically divulged to the world that I would be officially stepping down as director of Cinsaman 3 Tribulation, which is our final film in the Cinsaman trilogy. And there are a few reasons that I decided to step down. Mainly because I wanted to create the best possible movie with the resources we have available to us. And the best way for me to do that is to concentrate on the storytelling and the writing of the script. And I want to be 100% clear with everybody. I was not forced out by anyone. This was a decision that I came to on my own after conversing with the person I selected to take my place as director. And I laugh whenever people email me and ask me if I was booted from the project. Because I am the owner and the founder of Wicked Carnival Productions. Cinsaman is my screenplay, my idea, so who exactly would force me off the project? I mean, it's my own project. And it's comical when you stop and think about it that way. I made this choice because it is what is best for business, it is what is best for the project and the franchise. And I'm leaving the directing up to a much more qualified person, that being Chris Fife, who is my executive producer on the first two movies, my cameraman, my audio guy, my sound guy, my music man. He does so much behind the scenes that I think he will do a much better job than I can as the director of Cinsaman 3 Tribulation. Now, I'm not walking away from the project completely. As I stated in the announcement, I'm writing the script. I'm staying on as script supervisor, so I will be there on set every day. And I'm staying on as a producer, so I will have somewhat of creative influence on the project. And Chris and I get along amazingly, so I don't think there will be any issues whatsoever with us having conversations on set. I don't think it'll get heated at all. And I think he's going to deliver an amazing film. I'm 100% sure that he can do this. And I know he's going to make an awesome film to finish off the Cinsaman trilogy. I'll be right back after a word from another one of our sponsors. You're watching the Maine Morgue. This week, segment 5 is going to be about deleted and unused scenes in movies. I absolutely love watching deleted scenes on just about every movie I have. You know, I watch on Blu-ray or DVD. And I often love those scenes more than the ones that made it into the actual theatrical cut of a movie. I have many ideas to use some of the deleted scenes I've seen in movies in future movies. And I did in Cinsaman 2 Vengeance. Excuse me. And I plan on putting a scene or two like that in Cinsaman 3 Tribulation. If I can convince Chris Fife, the director of Tribulation, that it's a good idea. The way I'm going to shoot them is they're going to be alternate scenes, like the opening scene. I had two ideas when I was writing, and one I really, really liked, and one was a scene that wasn't used in the Scream series, the Scream trilogy, and I thought, wow, that'd be a really good twist to my movie. So I'm going to write opening scene A and opening scene B, and I'm going to let Chris decide after we shoot them which one he likes best in terms of the story. See, this is one of the huge reasons I wanted to step away from directing, because now I can focus solely on writing the best story that I can, the best dialogue that I can. I really changed the dialogue from part 2 to part 3 because I'm growing as a writer, and that is something that I really want to focus on, that I really want to take care of the writing in the movie, or for the movie. you know, I don't want to say I wasn't focused writing Rise of Mortis or Vengeance, but I'm way more focused writing Tribulation than I was the previous two films because I was doing all of the other stuff, directing, setting up the schedule, getting the locations, hiring the actors, and there was just a plethora of things that would happen on a daily basis on set that, you know, I'm the director, it's my job to figure that shit out. And, you know, not that I'm complaining about it, but I'm not equipped for that type of pressure. And during the production of Vengeance, I learned that very quickly. Chris and I can come together and say, okay, this is the problem. Here's solution A, B, C, and D. And we can work together and pick the best solution. And I will still do that with Chris. But Chris has a mind of his own and a way he wants to do things, and that's why I wanted him to direct. Because he knows how to solve things. He has a very good mind for it. And I do as well, but I think we can work together to make the best film possible. I can focus on the writing, he can focus on the directing and the camera work. And as the director and cameraman, he will shoot what he wants in the movie. As long as the dialogue gets in there, that's really all I care about, is making sure my script is followed. Chris has the vision to make the movie the way he wants to make it. And like I said in a previous segment, I wrote Tribulation in 10 days. That is fucking amazing when you think about it. I took a 29-page outline and wrote a 104-page script in 10 days. And that's working long hours. I'm very comfortable in saying that I think Sins of Man 3 Tribulation is the best script that I've ever written. And even if there are edits and changes made, I think it's the right story, and I think it will end the trilogy in a proper way. I'm going through the script now, writing some quick alternate scenes that may or may not make it into the final cut of the film. But hey, it'll make great bonus material, right? Right? I mean, people love bonus material. I just said I love bonus material. I really do. And there wasn't any on Rise of Mortis. There's going to be some interviews on the bonus section of Vengeance, which I thought was really cool. I really enjoyed shooting the interview scene. I just want to take this time, wrap up the show, and say thank you to all the folks that listen to me week after week, yammer on about movies and my experiences. For the hundreds of fans a week that visit both of my websites, sinsofmanmovie.com and wickedcarnivalproductions.com. You guys are fucking awesome. I love you guys. To all my fans on Twitter and Facebook from across the globe, you, my fellow fans, are the reason I do all of this crazy shit. I would love to hear from all of you about the podcast, my films, whatever you guys want to talk about. I love communicating with fans who reach out to me. You guys, like I said, you guys are fucking awesome. I'm not a automated reply crap kind of person. Every time I reply on Facebook or Twitter or email, it comes directly from me because I owe that much to you guys for making me feel this important in the world of horror and movies and podcasting. Like I said, I love each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. You fucking rock. I'll be back next week with another episode. Take care, everybody. I love you guys. Stay humble. Stay hungry, my friends.